What's up, guys? Tugi here, back again with some more NHL 17, and this time out, we begin our road to glory in EASHL. But despite calling it a road to glory, I'll say this up front, I'm not exactly sure how I want this series to go. Obviously, it will evolve as we go along, and the core of it will always be documenting my team's progress throughout NHL 17, but I don't exactly have a defined goal. I can't say that the goal is to reach the top of the leaderboards because I really don't care at this point. Sure, is it nice seeing your team in the top 100 or higher? Of course it is. Anyone who's like, oh, I truly don't care is kind of lying. You know, it is nice to, have that visual representation of your success, even if in recent years the leaderboards have been weighted in favor of teams who just play the game nonstop. And I should say that that's for the most part. It's kind of a generalization. Maybe that's changed for 17 as well. I don't know. But despite the fact that my club has routinely seen the top 100 over the last 6 to 7 years now, it's not what we really strive for, although maybe it will be this year. Who knows? Maybe we'll just end up being absolutely terrible in 17, and then that's really what we'll be striving for, to prove a point that we don't just absolutely suck, because NHL 17 just isn't our game, especially after the patch and or tuner update that butchered stick checking after the game's release. As I said, the series will definitely evolve over time. The first handful of episodes you guys will see, mainly the ones that document our first 20 games or so, will be like this episode here because they were recorded during the EA Access period, and my main focus was on the gameplay. In the future, we will keep track of stats, club progression, and the arena, leaderboard, whatever else comes to mind. Although I should say the stats have been messed up just a little bit. I am recording this in the period where my internet was down and my team went and just created a throwaway club, so their stats have been wiped already. So I'm not going to be able to do like full stat tracking like I planned, but we'll just manage that. We'll do whatever we have to do to kind of get that back on track. We will have episodes like this as well with just the highlights. Some episodes, I'm sure, if it's a really great game, will be a full-length game with live commentary. Others will be a mixture of both, live comm highlights, which I do plan on being the norm of this series, having the live commentary, but keep it in highlight form to keep these episodes nice and compact. The reason there hasn't been, or the reason there wasn't, live commentary from the start, and like I said, that will not be, that wasn't English, there won't be live commentary on those first couple of episodes, mainly due to the weather, if I'm honest. I do live in the northeast US, but still, humidity sucks no matter where you live, and here it's no different, so I may have died of heat stroke if I attempted live commentary rather than sitting in the cool thanks to my air conditioner. But with summer coming to a close, obviously that won't be an issue moving forward. But yeah, different types of videos, all accomplishing the same goal of bringing you guys consistent EASHL gameplay. And I should say too, if something happens in one of these games that catches my attention, whether it's a glitch, something in the gameplay in general, I'll definitely talk about it. If a specific strategy, for example, was very effective during a game, I'll point that out and discuss it. Kind of like a mini tutorial. I've said it a few times now, despite tutorials being my most popular videos by far, they're not exactly my favorite type of videos to make, but maybe that's something else that'll change here with 17. Like I said, I've had so many things just already that I want to do with NHL, and it's tough to see how these series, this and others, will pan out, but obviously I am excited to see how everything unfolds. After all of that, though, getting into this episode itself, we do have our first 3 games, and needless to say, they go as well as they possibly could have. Sure, some of the goals were pretty fluky, I can admit that. Some lucky bounces and breaks here and there. But the stats at the end of the game really tell the story. If we're out shooting someone by a 2-1 margin, I'm content with a lucky goal here or there, as long as the proper outcome happens. As far as the lineup, I will say this, I'm not going to promise Six's gameplay. We've been kicking tires on that idea for years, especially now, in the past 2 years now that the goalie has been revamped. Whether it's myself in goal, which I do love playing goalie in this game, someone else on the team, a new pickup, whatever, although we haven't had a new pickup to our team in a couple of years now. Playing sixes just normally isn't our bread and butter, mainly because, despite the fact that I love to play goal, if you take a vital part of your team off the ice, that can be a rough transition. Obviously, we played 3s in this episode, and you will see everything from 2s to 6s throughout this series, I'm sure, but just don't expect 6s, because I don't know if I can exactly promise that. But as we wrap up the last of the highlights, that wraps it up for this episode. As always, guys, I want to know from you down in the comments below, not only what you think of the series in general, but of course any suggestions and feedback, positive or negative, is always welcome. If you have enjoyed this first episode, though, make sure to hit that like button to help support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others here on NHL 17, and I'll catch you guys next time.